Thanks for choosing us for your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Now, we start with a live feed from the Law House, which has been commissioned this morning. Let's listen in.
Former Minister for Finance and current Senior Presidential Advisor and Special Envoy for the International Finance and Private Sector Investment, the Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta, the Paramount Chief of Abola Traditional Area representing the Gamanche, Your Royal Highness Ni Ahene Nunu, former Solicitor General and Deputy Attorney General Nana Susubribi Krobia Asante Omanhene of Asante Asokore, former attorneys and solicitors generals, Excellencies, the Dean and heads of diplomatic missions, honorable members of parliament, my Lord Justices of the Superior Courts, your worships, your honors, the Chief of Defense Staff and security chiefs, the President and members of the Ghana Bar Association, the heads of the Civil Service, Local Government Service, and the Public Services Commission, directors and officials of ministries, departments, and agencies, development partners, and friends of the judiciary, captains of industry, civil society organizations, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, joining us live here at the Law House Accra, on television, on radio, online. Welcome to this great day in history where we commission this law house. It is a 10-story and 2-tier basement law house into the service of the Office of the Attorney General's Department and the Ministry of Justice. I believe this is a proud legacy project and a bold statement of our commitment to the pursuit of justice and the safeguarding of our legal system. It's a beautiful story, although it has taken 24 years. Please, let's celebrate one more. I know lawyers clap only when there are fees, but please, today let's be generous. Today's event is rather brief, speaking to the heart of the matter and celebrating how far we've come. It is with great pride that I welcome you officially, Mr. President, to your new home, the Solicitor General of the Republic. Make welcome Mrs. Helen Akpene Awu Ziwu.
His Excellency, the President Nana Akufo-Addo, His Ladyship, the Chief Justice, Justice Gertrude Araba Esaba Saki Tokono, my Lord and Lady Justices of the Superior Courts of Judicature herein present, the Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Mr. Godfred Yeboah-Dame, the Honorable Deputy Attorneys General and Deputy Ministers for Justice, Mr. Alfred Yeboah and Ms. Diana Asinaba-Dapa, Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers herein present, Honorable Members of Parliament herein present, Members of the Legal Service Board, Honorable former Attorneys General and Ministers for Justice herein present, Members of the Diplomatic Corps, National President and members of the Ghana Bar Association, members of the clergy, Nananom Nime Name, Chief Director of the Ministry of Justice, divisional heads, directors, attorneys, and members of staff of the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, heads of agencies under the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, members of the media, esteemed guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. A pleasant good morning to you all. It is with immense pleasure and profound honor to welcome you all to the commission of the new office building of the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, codenamed the Law House. On behalf of the Honorable Attorney General, his 2 deputies, and the staff, I express my deep appreciation and gratitude to Your Excellency, Mr. President, Your Ladyship, and all distinguished guests honoring this invitation. This is a historic day, and I want to tell you why. This building's foundation was laid nearly 25 years ago, although the idea was suggested even earlier by the Legal Service Board in 1996. The project began during the tenure of Honorable Akufo-Addo when he served as the Attorney General during President Kufuor's administration. Like many ambitious projects, it suffered one setback or another. At times, it will cough and sputter through many twists and turns, despite the best efforts of all former attorney generals and governments. Yet Ghana's legal community is known for its fortitude, and so the project pushed on. Indeed, it has been a long, long journey, yet it feels like only yesterday when the sword-cutting ceremony was held on that historic Friday, 15 July 2005. In 2017, as part of government's commitments to enhance justice delivery, efforts were made to continue with the project after it was halted for a period. Construction resumed, gaining momentum to the extent that His Excellency the President, accompanied by the Honorable Attorney General, inspected the site on the 26th of May 2011. By close of 2021, approximately 95% of all block works, interior plastering, and roofing had been completed, making significant progress. Despite concerted efforts, various challenges persisted, leading our earlier contractors, and agro project to convey their inability to continue with the project. Consequently, in October 2022, Maxtech Limited was contracted to continue the work initiated on what we see here today. And I believe in coming here, you all looked at the building. I stand before you today with a profound sense of excitement and pride as we celebrate the realization of our vision, the fruit of our labor, the testament of the power of perseverance and teamwork that began in 2005. Under the leadership of the current Attorney General, Mr. Akufo-Addo, supported by his able deputies, and guided by the contributions of past Attorneys General, Deputy Attorneys General, Chief Directors and governments, and spearheaded by the personal commitment of His Excellency the President, we are here today to witness the fulfillment of a dream come true. It is therefore an honor to stand before my former Attorney General and Minister for Justice, now my President. President, His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, to partake in this joyous occasion. Making this day possible has not only been leadership, but also the contributions of many whose names would never be public. With deep appreciation, we wish to acknowledge them all, as well as pay tribute to His Excellency the President and all past Attorneys General and Ministers for Justice, and Deputy Attorneys General and Deputy Ministers for Justice. We appreciate our esteemed Attorney General, Mr. Akufo-Addo, for his significant role in realizing the long-awaited dream of the law office, as well as his two able deputies. Since assuming office, one of his foremost objectives has been to see the completion of this building to effectively address the persistent lack of office space within the office of the Attorney General. Through determination and perseverance, he has navigated obstacles with resilience, deserving nothing less than a standing ovation for his remarkable effort. Thank you, Honorable Attorney General. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the current Chief Director, past Chief Directors, past Solicitor General, past Directors of the various divisions, attorneys, staff of the Office of the Attorney General, our engineers, AESL, our contractor, Maxtech Limited, technical men and technical women whose collective contributions and dedication have been instrumental in bringing the Law House to fruition. Thank you all for your hard work and dedication. Thank you. Your Excellency, may I also take this opportunity to say that our office has in recent times seen the workforce expansion that it needed to discharge its constitutional obligations more effectively. And for that, we must thank the guardians of the national purse. However, this blessing also brought a challenge in the form of spatial infrastructure constraints, which led to congestion and logistical difficulties. With this law house, we can now address these pressing needs at the right time, making a meaningful impact on the lives of those we serve. And frankly, we cannot wait to move in and begin using its resources for the business of the nation. It will also be remiss of me not to acknowledge a truth that must be said plainly. This is truly, the building is beautiful. But the saying goes, but form, it is said, follows function. It will therefore be an empty exercise if we only admire its beauty without utilizing its functions to their fullest. On that note, we can assure Ghanaians that we will work hard to deliver the mandate of the office, harder to deliver the mandate of the office. But we cannot do this effectively without the support of our stakeholders. We therefore employ our stakeholders, especially the Ministry of Finance, the Bank of Ghana, to help us maintain this building to its high standard it was envisaged to uphold. We also plead with the government to consider replicating this whole house in every region of the country. And like Oliver Twist, thank you. Like Oliver Twist, we humbly approach the seat of authority and say with a certain innocent boldness, quote, please say, we want some more, unquote. But first things first, the onus is on us to justify the tremendous effort that went into making this building a three-dimensional reality. That is a mandate we assume with full responsibility and with a whole heart and mind. Nation of Ghana, rest assured, we will make you proud. Distinguished invited guests, once again, on behalf of the Honorable Attorney General, his deputies, and the entire staff, I extend my sincere gratitude to each and every one of you for graciously honoring our invitation. Your presence here today is a tangible demonstration of your commitment to our shared values and goals, and we deeply, deeply appreciate your support and encouragement. Let us unite in celebrating the commissioning of this law house, making our collective achievements in advancing justice and excellence. Your Excellency, the President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are welcome. To God be the glory for the great things he has done. Thank you.
Mrs. Helen Akpene Awu Ziwu is the Solicitor General. We thank you for your warm note of welcome and that innocent boldness that makes a very demanding ask of the President. What we see here has taken lots of money, for which reason we are grateful for the presence of the Minister for Finance. Make welcome the Honorable Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam. Thank you for joining us. And in the spirit of digitalization, we're joined by a proud member of our fraternity, yours and mine, the Honorable Esla Owusu-Ekufo, Minister for Communications and Digitalization. It will be remiss of me not to acknowledge, ladies and gentlemen, a towering figure, a prominent lawyer par excellence, a member of the Council of State, representing the chair, the Venerable Mr. Sam Okudzeto. Amongst many others I shall be acknowledging intermittently in the course of this event. In moving on, we're pleased to receive a statement from the Architectural and Engineering Services Limited, who happen to be consultants to this project. Make welcome Architect Isaac Ajay Mafo.
Your Excellency, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, Honorable Godfrey Yeboah-Dame, I'll crave your indulgence to stand on the protocols already observed by the Solicitor General, Madam Awu. I want to give the overview of the Law House project. The office, the client, is the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice. project details, that is the name, construction of 10-story and 2-tier basement parking for law house. Location, Ministerial Enclave, Accra, Ghana. The first contractor that was awarded the project was Michels Enego Project, a Serbian contractor based in Ghana. Consultants, Architectural and Engineering Services Limited. Commencement date, 2001. Contract duration was set to be 36 calendar months. Initial completion date was set to be May 2004. Fresh award and approval from PPA, October 2021. Contract termination by Michels Enego Project on December 2022. Current contractors who completed the project, Michels Mustec Engineering, led by Mr. Michael Zomelo and his team. Contract re-awarded date, January 10th, 2023. Completion date is June 2024. The background. The as-built project period spanned the tenures of 4 presidents. His Excellency J.A. Kufuor, His Excellency Professor Atta Mills of blessed memory, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, a period of about 24 years. The works, including preparation of drawings, preparation of contract documents, and obtaining of relevant permits and statutory approvals, actually commenced in 2001 in the tenure of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo during his time as Attorney General and Minister for Justice. The project site was actually handed over to the contractor, that is Michels Enego, on July 23rd, 2001. The various attorneys and ministers for justice in whose tenure part of the works were carried out includes Honorable Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the Attorney General then. His reign was 2001 to 2003, followed by Honorable Papa Owusu Ankama, 2003 to 2005. Honorable J. Aikwe Otu, 2005 to 2006. Honorable Jogate, 2006 to 2009. Honorable Betty Mut Idrisu, 2009 to 2011. Honorable Martin Amidu, 2011 to 2012. Honorable Benjamin Kombo, 2012 to 2013. Honorable Brew Apia Opong, 2013 to 2017. Honorable Gloria Akufu, 2017 to 2021. Then Honorable Godfrey Yeboah-Adame, 2001 to date. By the time Honorable Godfrey Yeboah-Adame assumed the mantle as Attorney General and Minister for Justice, the state of completion of the entire works was 36%. That is, the frame structure was completed. Although not meant to downplay the contributions of other ministers before him, it is worth mentioning the unique role played by the current Attorney General, that is from 2021 to date, with the backing of the cabinet of His Excellency the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The special personal commitment by the Honorable Minister in ensuring the completion of the project gave it a much-needed lifeline. This played a crucial role in turning the project from one of the numerous abandoned government projects that have plagued the nation into the magnificent and usable completed edifice we have here today. Brief description of the project. At the initiation stage, the project was planned to be an 8-story office complex. This was subsequently revised to a 10-story structure with two-level basement. It consists of conference rooms, 130 number office spaces, 120 parking lots, both in the basement and then around the building, eating areas for staff, washrooms, and other facilities. It boasts of the number of offices, as I've mentioned, to house the head office of the entire ministry, and parking, provide them with the needed parking lot for the staff. Right. I think the outline, everything is in the brochure, so we can easily make reference. But planning and execution stage, by 2005, the contract sum, or the initial contract sum, was revised from 20 billion cedis, that is all Ghana cedis, to 50 billion all Ghana cedis, essentially as a result of scope creep and fluctuation. Determination and re-award of the contract. When Honorable Godfrey Yeboah-Adame took office in March 2021, he observed that the agreement executed by the contractor Michel's Energo project in 2005, which had an initial completion date of October 2008, had long expired. The project had stalled for a number of years. Only the block works, some plastering, roofing had been done. The total state of completion, like I mentioned earlier, was 36%. The outstanding works include the following: block works, curtain wall and allocable cladding, general painting works, glazed aluminum windows, construction of outer perimeter fence wall, gatehouse and entrance gates, soft and hard landscaping, external works, MEP, that is mechanical, electrical, and plumbing installations. Let me jump to challenges encountered. As mentioned by Solicitor General, a major challenge to the execution of the project was the inability of successive governments to make adequate budgetary provisions for the project. There was also difficulty to contract external funding. Technical issues like a high water table, coupled with unstable earth walls that require special shoring, as was discovered by the geotechnical engineers of Architectural and Engineering Services Limited. This also impeded progress of works to a significant extent. Together with the triple project constraints of scope, time, and cost, these challenges acted in concert to produce record-breaking delays and extend the contract execution period to over 23 years, instead of the envisaged award period of 36 calendar months. It was thus refreshing when the current Attorney General was able to get the support of the President, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, and his Minister for Finance to release funds for completion of the project. The building is now fully completed and fully furnished. The furnishing of other rooms will be done in less than 2 weeks. God bless us all and make our nation great and strong. Thank you, Mr. President.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Mr. Architect Isaac Ajay Mafo, consultant with the Architectural and Engineering Services Limited. Armed with unique capabilities and innovative problem-solving abilities, Mastec Engineering Limited stands tall as an indigenous Ghanaian success story and a market leader in 3 main areas of operation: energy and power, road and general construction, and rental of equipment. We couldn't have found a much better contractor than Mastec. Make welcome the Managing Director for a statement, Mr. Michael Zomalo.
His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic, Honorable Attorney General and Minister for Justice, colleagues from the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today marks a monumental occasion as we gather here to witness the commissioning of the Law House for the Ministry of Justice. This momentous event not only signifies the culmination of the months of dedicated work from Mustek Engineering in collaboration with the ministry, but also represents a significant milestone in our collaboration, in our collective pursuit of justice and excellence. The Law House stands as a beacon of integrity, embodying the principles of fairness, equality, and the rule of law. It is more than just a physical structure. It is a symbol of Ghana's commitment to upholding justice and ensuring access to legal resources for all. We are grateful for the leadership of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Honorable Godfrey Dami, whom we have learned so much from through this process and who has encouraged us with his relentless drive for perfection and on-time execution. To the Ministry of Justice, I offer my sincerest congratulations on the acquisition of this remarkable facility. May the Law House serve as a cornerstone of your noble endeavors, providing a sanctuary for the pursuit of justice and the safeguarding of our legal system. I would like to acknowledge His Excellency, the President, for his gift of eloquence, not just concerning the things of law, but throughout his leadership in sharing his vision, which continues to inspire us all. Mr. President, we're honored to have you with us today. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the team at Mustek Engineering. Your unwavering commitment to excellence has brought the Law House to life. The range of emotions experienced on site, especially during moments of stress and the pressure to meet deadlines, is a testament to your dedication and passion. Your efforts are deeply appreciated. I would like to urge policymakers to consider empowering local contractors for future projects. By doing so, we can foster growth within our own communities, enhance local expertise, and stimulate economic development. In conclusion, we are confident that this building will stand the test of time and are proud to be part of this legacy. We thank you.
Wow, thank you very much for that very thought-provoking statement, calling us to consider empowering more local contractors in future projects. By doing so, we can foster growth within our own communities, enhance local expertise, and stimulate economic development. Please, one more time, a round of applause. That sounds like a call which will be made by the current president of the bar, who has an eye on the seat to become Attorney General. Please make welcome my brother and friend, Mr. Yao Boafo Esquire.
The earlier I enter a disclaimer, the better. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic, Her Ladyship Gertrude Saki Tokonu, Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, the Right Honorable Godfrey Addo, who I don't pose any threat to his office, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Deputy Attorney General Alfred Yeboah and Dinasonda Dopaa, for Mrs. Judges of the Superior Court of Judicature, leather friends, I acknowledge the presence of all dignitaries. It is my special pleasure, and indeed I feel deeply honored, to be part of this grand occasion for the commissioning of the new office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, dubbed the Law House, and for the privilege to give brief remarks. It is not only a grand occasion, more appropriately, it is a landmark event. In my estimation, the significance of this occasion ought not to be lost on us. This edifice, arguably, is the single biggest investment ever carried out in the recent history of the Office of the Attorney General. With its antecedents dating back to the sword cutting in July 2005 during the tenure of office of Honorable Akufo-Addo as Attorney General, and for a project that was originally to be completed under 3 years, amid several setbacks and a seeming lack of commitment towards its completion by successive governments, it is only fair to say that all of us in the legal fraternity are happy and can heave a sigh of relief that at long last, the construction of the Law House battle has finally ended, thereby banishing our worst fears. This building is as imposing an edifice as it is breathtaking, and it makes a bold statement, a statement that the state appreciates its duty to invest in its institutions to enable them effectively carry out their constitutional and statutory mandates. This building does not only add to and improve the skyline and landscape of this part of the city, but it should lead to changing the landscape for the delivery of justice and public service in our country. This building should serve as a reference point and a beacon for excellence and a renewed confidence by the citizenry in public or state prosecutions. It used to be said that our attitude towards law and order is encapsulated thus, that the two most shabby and unkept buildings in any town in Ghana were the courthouse and the police station. Thankfully, in recent times, the narrative has changed, evident in what appears to be a more vigorous and sustained policy by government in recent years in the construction of ultra-modern courthouses and bungalows for judges and magistrates across the country. It is therefore refreshing that the Office of the Attorney General has not been left out in the allocation of public funds and resources for the improvement of infrastructure relative to the administration of justice. His Excellency the President, please accept the assurances of our gratitude. We are grateful. However, the physical development of such infrastructure is not enough unless it is coupled with proper furnishing and an adequate setup to achieve the purpose for which it was constructed, especially in this era of information technology. The construction of this law office building should not be the end. It must signal the beginning of a nationwide development of infrastructure and human resource development of the Office of the Attorney General. Hopefully, it shall set the stage for similar developments and improvements in infrastructure in the districts and regions. We should break away from the phenomenon of developing relevant infrastructure only in Accra. Suffice it to say that most of the offices of the Attorney General across the country are not fit for purpose and should require urgent attention. And I must say that I didn't have an advance copy of the Solicitor General's welcome address. Mr. President, as a member of the Legal Service Board representing the GBA from 2013 to 2021, I am aware there has been an increasing number of lawyers who apply to be employed at the Office of the Attorney General. The time has come for the establishment of a Greater Accra Regional Office and district offices of the Office of the Attorney General. There can be no valid reason for continuing the practice of police officers conducting prosecutions mainly at the lower courts. Reasonable evidence abounds of many instances in which charges have been struck out and accused persons discharged or acquitted at our courts either for the tardiness and or lack of the knowledge of procedural and evidentiary rules on the part of some police prosecutors. The safe impression has been that things would have panned out differently and the outcomes more positive if those prosecutions had been handled by trained and qualified state attorneys from the Office of the Attorney General. The GBA accordingly advocates for the employment of many more lawyers to the regions and districts to improve efficiency in state prosecutions across the country. I am excited and hopeful about the future of the Office of the Attorney General in this country. May this singular yet monumental edifice and its commissioning serve as a real catalyst for the real transformation of state prosecutions in this country, a key cog of public service. Nonetheless, we at the Ghana Bar Association make this unhappy observation, which is that contemporary history of our dear nation is replete with many similar huge projects that have unfortunately fallen into state of disrepair and even fallen into the ruins for lack of maintenance culture. We therefore expect this building and the likes of it to be properly and diligently maintained, going against the grain of the lack of maintenance culture of government buildings in this country. However, it should not be only about buildings. Similar zeal, efforts, and resources should be directed in building the capacities, skills, and training of state attorneys in global best practices to make them more competitive. Today's lawyer is a global one. To the learned state attorneys who will be working from this building, without that, you are also part of and from the Ghana Bar Association. You are very important to the Ghana Bar Association and within the whole framework of enhancing accessible justice. Please know that the expectations on you to deliver has even grown bigger. Working from a safer, secured, conducive, and modern and state-of-the-art environment that this edifice provides, coupled with increased investments by the state and government from the public purse, should only translate to improved efficiency and dedication in prosecuting matters of the state in the realization of the overarching goal of a just and democratic nation. Ghanaians are watching. They expect more. I'm grateful. Thank you very much.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Yao Boafo Esquire, President of the Ghana Bar Association. Thank you for those warm thoughts, as crystal, as glass, and as understandable by everyone. Your thoughts, as a matter of fact, lay the foundation for the remarks or the statement by our Chief Justice. Your Ladyship, the Chief Justice, it will be recalled in your statement dated the 8th of April, 2024, on the occasion of the launch of the Leading Justice Initiatives, that you spelled out a strategic framework for increasing legality, ethics, assets, digitalization, and due process in justice delivery. I guess we are all eager to know how this intervention feeds into any of these plans and even more. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Justice of our Republic, make welcome Her Ladyship, Justice Gertrude Araba Esaba Saki Tokono.
Thank you, Jerry. Your Excellency, the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Justices of the Supreme Court and Superior Courts of Judicature, the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Mr. Godfred Yeboah-Dame, your Honorable Deputies, and the Honorable Ministers and Deputy Ministers present, the Solicitor General, Director of Public Prosecutions, National President and Executives of the Ghana Bar Association, may I keep standing on established protocols. Today indeed brings a proud moment to the entire legal community. The launch of the iconic Law House, standing proudly next to the largest court complex in the country, is an occasion that we all are extremely excited about. The legal community is claiming its place in iconic destinations in the country, adding value beyond the work of justice delivery we do to presenting locations that have touristic value and other value to the country. Let me congratulate the Honorable Attorney General for stewarding this project that has been all of 24 years in the dreaming and in the building. Your Excellency, distinguished persons present, access to justice goes beyond providing courts. But I can assure Mr. Ajololo that I'm not going to take this opportunity to take the shine off the Attorney General by talking about leading justice. Access to justice includes facilities for legal education, law reporting, facilities for law reform, facilities for legal aid services, and well-resourced professionals along all of the justice delivery chain. We are still left with providing fitting locations for the several needs of professionals in the justice delivery chain, and I am hoping that sooner than later, we will be having another beautiful edifice close by to house the Council for Law Reporting, to house Legal Aid Commission, the Law Reform Commission, the Legal Service Board, and all of the agencies that feed into providing justice to this dear nation of ours. I'm informed that this location is going to be able to house all state attorneys and supporting officials of the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice in the building. This means that we need to replicate this around the country. And I can assure you, I also did not see the remarks of the Solicitor General. Great minds, they say, think alike. So clearly, Mr. President, as much as we are all very grateful to you and your government and for supporting this project, we are clamoring for more around the country. The learned Attorney General has shown extensive resourcefulness in leading the construction and delivery of this facility. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe he must be commended. Indeed, Attorney General, I stand on behalf of the entire legal community to express our appreciation for your resilience. Your Excellency, I also stand on behalf of the entire legal community to express our thanks to you and your government for championing the delivery of this facility for justice delivery. May God bless our homeland, Ghana, and continue to make us great and strong. Thank you.
One more time, let's appreciate the Chief Justice of our Republic. We thank you, Your Ladyship, Justice Gertrude Tokonu. We all seem to know this story quite too well, from the works including the preparation of drawings, preparation of contract documents, and obtaining of relevant permits and statutory approvals. But actually, work commenced in 2001 in the tenure of His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, then as Attorney General and Minister of Justice. It will travel through 8 other Attorneys General amidst twists and turns. Please, a round of applause for all these gallant men. But the real story begins after he left the Jubilee House on the 5th of March 2021 with his instrument of investiture in the belief that the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Hence, setting out to work to initiate programs, proactive measures to complete this project. It will take 2 months and 3 weeks from his investiture to write the most remarkable page of today's story, when on the 26th of May 2021, after the salt cutting for the Ghana School of Law, Legon, he will skillfully and legally ambush the President of the Republic in the company of the then Chief Justice, His Lordship Justice Eninyebua, to come and inspect the state of the Law House, and the rest, they say, is history. And so from a 36% completion point for the entire works in 2021, the building is now fully completed with total furnishings to be completed in 2 weeks, a testament of bold, dedicated leadership that gets things done. And now, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the star boy, my brother, the Attorney General of the Republic of Ghana, the Honorable Godfred Yeboah, tell me.
Thank you very much. And this is the only occasion on which I get to speak before the Chief Justice. Madam Chief Justice, I'm grateful for your kind indulgence. Mr. President, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, Her Ladyship the Chief Justice, Mrs. Gertrude Araba Isaba Saki Tokonu, Justice of the Supreme Court of Ghana, here in present, Justice of the Superior Court of Judicature, eminent clergy, Honorable Ministers of State, Honorable Deputy Ministers of State, former Attorney General, Honorable Joe Gatti, Deputy Attorney General and Deputy Minister for Justice, Mr. Alfred Yeboah, Deputy Attorney General and Deputy Minister for Justice, Ms. Diana Sunaba Dapa, members of the Diplomatic Corps, Your Excellencies, the President of the Ghana Bar Association, our eminent traditional rulers, the Solicitor General, the Director of Public Prosecutions, former Solicitor General, and also an eminent traditional ruler of Asokore traditional area, Nana Dr. Susubribi Kobe Asante, executive directors and heads of agencies under the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, chief executive officers of state-owned institutions and other privately owned entities. And may I acknowledge the presence of my supportive and beautiful wife, Joycelyn Dame. Ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media, with great joy in my heart, I welcome you to this event. Knowing the special place the Law House occupies in the hearts of state attorneys around the country, it's an honor to be the Attorney General who has driven this project to completion. And it's a day the Lord has made, and we rejoice in it. When I was appointed the Attorney General in 2021, I requested the relevant heads of agencies under the ministry and all regional heads of the various, for a presentation of what I termed urgent and most pressing needs, so as to obtain a primary and comprehensive insight into the matters of utmost concern to the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, its regional offices, and various agencies under the ministry. Top on the list of the presentation made by the various departments and regional offices was the debilitating office accommodation challenge. The dreadful infrastructural and logistical hardships facing the ministry were legendary, as even at the head office, some of the lawyers were operating from what is described in Ghanaian parlance as containers, a situation I consider very deplorable. I deemed it unacceptable for attorneys who assist important institutions of state navigate the myriad of legal challenges they are confronted with, and some of whom are actually Ivy League scholars, to be using containers at their offices. Other problems principally related to grossly insufficient budget for the operations of the ministry, lack of vehicles to facilitate the duties of state attorneys in justice delivery, and severe technological challenges. Working visits by me to the office of various agencies under the Ministry of Justice to ascertain at first hand the fiscal conditions under which they operate confirmed the reports I received. These visits were revealing as the hugely undesirable working environment of some agencies and the lack of basic tools for service relation came to the fore. Mr. President, by virtue of the duties conferred on me with my appointment, I pledge my unalloyed commitment to the resolution of all problems militating against the work of the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. A resolution of the office accommodation challenge of the head office of the Minister of Justice, in my view, lay in the completion of the Law House. The shell of the block works had been sitting there for decades with same abandoned for a number of years. I immediately got Michelle's Architectural Engineering Services Limited to undertake a structural analysis in order to satisfy myself about the safety of a continuation of the construction. After all, it was supposed to be occupied by lawyers, and I could not comprehend the gravity of lawsuits that I would be confronted with in negligence and other torts in the unfortunate event of any accident occurring. AESL reported to me they were fully confident about the results of the structural integrity. In all of this, the utmost cooperation of the President and Minister for Finance were phenomenal. Sir, I sat down with you, and I was the beneficiary of your kindness and goodwill. In the face of many competing demands on the public purse, your unique recognition of the importance of legal sector to national development and the need to satisfy the critical needs of the sector were simply remarkable. I perceive the President's commitment to this project as divine. Indeed, he was responsible for the inception of the project as Attorney General, and he was the man to commission it as President of the Republic. And I would say that hardly have the stars aligned to make a story so impressive. Following a special appeal I made to Cabinet in June 2021, the Minister for Finance at the time, Mr. Akufo-Addo, assured me of regular release of funds to support the construction of the Law House, and he honored his word. My zeal to execute the project, however, suffered its own hiccups. In assessing the volume of work to be done, I realized, to my chagrin, that the agreement had expired since 2008. Works had been going on without any form of approval since then. The legality of a continuation of works was not in doubt, and I took account of my peculiar circumstances as one prosecuting various violations of procurement regulations and financial malpractices. I did not want to be, as a Ghanaian would say, caught in the same soup as those I was prosecuting. A considerable amount of time was thus spent on obtaining relevant statutory approvals for the project, particularly from the Public Procurement Authority, for an engagement of the same company which had been working on the project since about the year 2001, Enego Project Limited, to continue with the outstanding works on the project. The Ministry of Finance graciously granted a commencement warrant for the completion of the outstanding works on 3rd February 2022. Rather strangely, after the grant of the commencement warrant to the Ministry of Finance, the Enego Project started expressing an inability to continue with the works as a result of some conditions in the commencement warrant. I was going to say bench warrant. The commencement warrant given by Ministry of Finance. The company terminated the contract. The Ministry of Justice accepted the termination, of course, without any risk of judgment debt. We were compelled to take the rather painful decision to apply to the PPA to cancel the approval given in favor of that company, identify a new contractor for the project, and for PPA to approve the appointment to the new contractor, Mustech Engineering Services Limited. It is necessary to state that after scaling the initial challenges, the Ministry of Finance consistently honored all requests for payment of work done by the contractor. It is thus a source of deep satisfaction that I see Mr. Akufo-Addo come this morning to share in the joy of this occasion with us. His successor, Honorable Amin Adam, has continued the tradition of close collaboration with my office. Indeed, he has assured me that he's going to give a warrant for the recruitment of about 70 or 100 attorneys. It's right there. Recounting the support to the Ministry of Finance as a worthy partner for the Office of Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, I recall the release of the entire sum required by the Office of the Attorney General for a satisfaction of its agents' needs in 2021. Out of this, the Ministry made a giant acquisition of 91 vehicles comprising saloon cars, pickup vehicles, and Toyota buses to assist in the performance of duties by state attorneys. The acquisition of 91 vehicles for the Office of Attorney General represents the biggest fleet ever acquired by the Ministry of Justice at any point in time. Distinguished guests, may I also place on record the support of the former Chief Director of the Office of Attorney General, Mr. Suleiman Ahmed, and the current Chief Director, Suebatu Adam. The two have been phenomenal in the examination of contracts and processes for payment of certificates presented by the contractor. And I should also say that the support of my wife and family has also been immeasurable. Many weekends, especially after church on Sunday, I drive them straight to the site to inspect the state of completion. Not even the complaints of hunger from the little ones could deter me. And I was intrigued when my daughter asked me yesterday in response to a statement I made that I was going to commission the Law House today. Is it done so soon? I felt a sense of satisfaction. Mr. President, I dream of a modern public legal service for our nation, fully equipped to live up to its onerous constitutional and statutory duties of rendering competent legal advice to the Republic of Ghana and representing the state in the complexities of modern-day local and international transactions. The Law House represents a giant step towards realizing that dream. Consisting of 12 stories, 10 stories above ground, and a 2-tier basement for car park, is a model for efficiency of the use of public land. It will house the 3 divisions of the Office of Attorney General, i.e. the Civil Division, Prosecutions Division, and the Legislative Drafting Division. In addition to a good number of offices for state attorneys, it boasts of a vast conference room which the Ghana Bar Association can use for occasionally, of course for a fee. A canteen, 2 libraries, rooms for pupils, interns and researchers, kitchenettes, and a big space on the 10th floor for parties. The Attorney General's facilities include a conference room which can seat about 30 to 34 people, whilst there are 2 specific suites for 2 deputy attorneys general, including a study and a room for their own personal assistants. In view of the peculiar situation of the Office of Attorney General, in which over 90% of the attorneys are women, I suggested to the contractor the setting up of a special room for nursing mothers that is a lactation room or even gymnasium for them to keep up their shape after delivery. However, the contractor would not oblige. We can sort it out later on. The President, towards realizing the dream of a modern public legal service, I dare say that the era where regional offices of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice and other agencies of the ministry perch in the corner of buildings belonging to other government institutions or are sometimes thrown out of premises in which they are licensees should be over soon. I am of the respectful view that every regional office of the Ministry of Justice ought to own at least a 3-story edifice. And I have commenced discussions in this regard with the World Bank towards the possibility of a funding for this project. I've assured the board chairman of the Legal Aid Commission that upon the completion of the Law House, I will spearhead efforts to obtain funding for the construction of a modern permanent office for the Legal Aid Commission. In the meantime, I hereby indicate that I will relinquish the use of the former office block belonging to the Office of Attorney General for the Legal Aid Commission to utilize at its new office. Ultimately, the building behind us, which presently houses the Council for Law Reporting, in which the Legal Aid Commission is a licensee, clearly has had 8 better days behind it, and will have to be replaced with a much more modern building in a few years, worthy of the noble services which the 2 institutions discharge in our country. The Office of the Law Reform Commission will experience the same thing. But of course, as we know, this will become reality only when we break the 8. I know state attorneys are very discerning and they know what to do. The President, when I take account of certain developments in the recent past, particularly activities like the construction of over 100 courthouses, or 120 bungalows for judges of various courts across the country, as well as the events we are witnessing today, all of which have had a far-reaching effect of transforming justice delivery and the quality of public legal service, I'm compelled to christen the era in which we live as the golden age of infrastructure development of the law. Indeed, hardly has there been a stage in the history of our nation in which there has been a whirlwind of infrastructure development insofar as legal service and justice delivery is concerned. A core component of the modern legal service I envisage for the Office of Attorney General and Ministry of Justice is the strengthening of the litigating capacity of the office to rise to the demands of various facets of civil litigation, including international arbitration and cases in foreign courts and tribunals. I am happy to state that the quality of representation of the state by the Office of Attorney General has considerably increased as the state holds its own in most international arbitrations without the aid of foreign counsel, and most importantly, has gone on to achieve tremendous success in this regard. Even though the last 4 years has seen an extraordinary upsurge in international arbitration cases against the state, conspicuously, the state has emerged victorious in all the awards given in the international arbitrations it has participated in. We have shown that when given the opportunity, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Distinguished guests, last night, as I looked in admiration at how orderly and almost bare the desk in my new office looked, and those of you who are quite close to me know that I like spaces, big spaces, I quickly remembered that in less than a day, mountains of fowl will clutter my desk. Without a doubt, we must move away from this unhealthy situation. We cannot have a modern legal service without a fully functional, digitized working environment. Thus, a significant phase in the creation of the modern legal service I speak about is the operationalization of an integrated information management system for the Office of Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, or a fully digitized operation of the office. A complete electronic management of all records at the office is non-negotiable. We cannot allow paper to clutter our working environment and destroy the beauty of what we have achieved with this law house. Fully cognizant of the supreme benefits of technology, I will strive to augment the capacity of the ministry to digitize its operations by adding a fully functional modern electronic law library to these facilities, as well as ensuring a complete electronic management of all records. But of course, this is subject to breaking the 8. I've said before that the War Oil Attorney General's office is the biggest signpost for improved conditions in the practice of law. The industry of state attorneys must be properly complemented with a supply of resources needed to assist in the discharge of their functions. It's my hope that today marks the beginning of the realization of my quest to set up an efficient, modern public legal service. May the Law House live up to its purpose of being the symbol of excellence in legal service and a catalyst for an enhanced role of the Office of Attorney General in the affairs of state. May God bless the Office of Attorney General and Minister of Justice as we take these giant strides into the future together. God bless us all. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, help me say a big thank you to the one, the only, the Honorable Godfred Yeboah-Dame, Attorney General and Minister for Justice. Please, let it be warm and heartfelt. When I think of that great song, This Is the Moment, with the lyrics so eloquently written by Anthony Wallo, I can only reflect on the last stanza, which says, when I look back, I will always recall, moment for moment, this was the moment, the greatest moment of them all. Such will be his song on the 8th of January 2025, when he has handed over and is sitting down reflecting on the glorious life he's lived and the legacy he's bequeathed to us, one of sustainable development, great leadership, but above all, excellence in judicial and legal services delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the celebrant for today, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. He has done nothing wrong, please. Oh.
Eminent clergy, Senior Presidential Advisor, Attorney General, Minister for Finance, and Member of Parliament for Karaga, the Minister for Communications and Digitalization, and Member of Parliament for Ablekuma West, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources and Member of Parliament for Damango, Minister for Local Government, Decentralization and Rural Development, and Member of Parliament for Techiman South, Deputy Attorneys General, Solicitor General, Director of Public Prosecutions, Head of the Civil Service, Deputy Chief of Staff at the Office of the President, and officials of the Presidency, Justices of the Supreme Court, and other Justices of the Superior Court of Judicature, Judges, members of the Judicial Council, members of the General Legal Council, the President and members of the Bar Council of the Ghana Bar Association, members of the Ghana Bar Association, the representative of the Gamanche and other distinguished traditional rulers, the Dean and members of the Diplomatic Corps, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. Today is indeed a day of great pride and accomplishment as we stand before this magnificent 12-story edifice, the Law House. This moment marks the culmination of a long journey that began over 2 decades ago, when I served as Attorney General in the government of the second President of the Fourth Republic, His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor. It was then that the vision for this building was conceived, and now we see that vision transformed into a tangible reality under my presidency. The completion of the Law House stands as a testament to the MPP government's commitment to addressing the age-old office accommodation problem that has plagued the Attorney General's office and the Ministry of Justice for far too long. This state-of-the-art facility will now house the Office of the Attorney General and the Ministry of Justice, providing a conducive environment for the efficient administration of the law in our country. I must at the outset pay glowing tribute to the work undertaken by the Attorney General, Akufo-Addo, in bringing us to this day. When he assumed office as Attorney General in 2021, after 4 years as Deputy Attorney General, the completion status of the Law House project was, as we have been told, at 36%. His personal commitment, together with my support, were instrumental in reviving and bringing the project to completion. His efforts ensured that this initiative, which has easily ended up as another abandoned government project, was implemented to become the impressive structure that we are celebrating. Indeed, the contract for the construction was awarded to Messrs. Energo Project Ghana Limited in 2021, 23 years ago. But due to various challenges, including delays and the need for fresh procurement approvals, the project faced several hurdles. Akufo-Addo navigated these issues by obtaining the relevant approvals and re-engaging contractors, leading to a renewed effort to complete the project. He has done a yeoman's job. And I say a hearty ayiko to him. After all, not to be overlooked, he's one of the many worthy products of Messrs. Akufo-Addo, Prempeh, and Co. Ladies and gentlemen, the importance of this building goes beyond its physical structure. It symbolizes our strong dedication to upholding the tenets of the rule of law, which is the bedrock of any thriving democracy. The rule of law ensures that no one is above the law. That is, the concept of equality before the law is respected. That justice is administered fairly and impartially, and that the rights and freedoms of every citizen are protected. It is the foundation upon which we build an equitable, free, and just society. Throughout my tenure as president, my administration has made considerable strides in strengthening the rule of law in Ghana. We've embarked on a journey of digitization and modernization of our legal and judicial systems, recognizing that in this digital age, the efficient administration of justice must keep pace with technological advancements. One of our key achievements in this regard is the digitization of court processes. We've introduced electronic filing systems, reducing the reliance on paper-based documentation and streamlining the judicial process. This initiative has not only expedited the handling of cases, but has also enhanced transparency and accountability within the legal system. Lawyers and litigants can now file their documents online, access case information, and receive updates on their cases in real time. This is a major leap forward in making justice more accessible and efficient for all Ghanaians. My government has also committed itself to improving judicial infrastructure, providing resources and ensuring the safety and security of judges who often face risks in the line of duty. Indeed, since my assumption of office in 2017, my government has made unprecedented progress in the provision of court buildings and residences for judges around the country. In 2020, we set out to construct 100 courthouses with residential facilities nationwide. As of February 2024, 79 courthouses have been successfully inaugurated and are in use at different sites around the country. The remaining 21 projects are at various stages of completion and are expected to be completed and inaugurated this year. In addition, 121 residential units have been constructed for judges throughout the country. Further, 20 fully furnished 4-bedroom units, together with social amenities, have been constructed for justices of the Court of Appeal in Kumasi. The project is not yet complete, but I can safely say that we have done enough to address the perennial problem of insufficient court infrastructure in Ghana. In our quest to promote further the rule of law, we have also focused on enhancing access to justice for all Ghanaians, regardless of their socioeconomic status. Until 2022, the Legal Aid Commission had only 6 vehicles, the last of which it acquired in 2007. Through the intervention again of the Attorney General, a total of 91 vehicles have been procured for the Attorney General's office, 13 of which have been delivered to the Legal Aid Commission, increasing its number of vehicles from 6 to 19. This has helped in expanding the coverage of legal aid services so that indigent persons can obtain legal representation and advice. It has also gone a long way in bridging the justice delivery gap and ensuring that access to justice is not a privilege reserved for the few, but a right to be enjoyed by all. In total, in my time as president, 115 vehicles have been acquired for use by officials of the Ministry of Justice. Under the Akufo-Addo government, the capacity of the Attorney General's office has been bolstered, enabling it to handle numerous international arbitration cases without recourse to foreign or external counsel. This represents a marked departure from previous practice, where external legal expertise was often sought. The strengthened Attorney General's office has demonstrated notable success, effectively advocating Ghana's interests on the international stage and achieving favorable outcomes in various arbitration proceedings, including reducing the cost of proceedings for the state. This strategic enhancement not only underscores government's commitment to self-reliance in legal matters, but also showcases the proficiency and competence of domestic legal talent in managing complex international disputes. Despite the ugly noises, the fight against corruption has been a cornerstone of my administration. With a clear understanding that corruption thrives in an atmosphere conducive to its concealment, and that access to information is a vital tool in the fight against corruption, my government in its first term ensured the passage of the Right to Information Act, 2019 Act 989, in order to give true meaning and effect to Article 21, Clauses 1F of the Constitution. The Act, which successive governments have failed to pass, sees to the implementation of the constitutional right to information held by a public institution to foster a culture of transparency and accountability in public affairs, subject to exemptions, necessary and consistent with the protection of the public interest in a democratic society. The Act is now being fully implemented, with the governing board chaired by an experienced and respected retired High Court judge. The Ministry of Information has trained information officers in various ministries, departments, and agencies of government to support the full application of the law. In 2018, again during my first term, Parliament passed the Witness Protection Act 2018, Act 975, to which I gave assent on 24th August of the same year. The Act established a Witness Protection Agency to create a witness protection scheme as a vehicle for offering protection to persons who are required to cooperate with law enforcement agencies as witness in the investigation and prosecution of cases, particularly corruption cases affecting public officers. The Criminal Offences Amendment Act 2020, Act 1034, has been passed to amend Section 239 of the Criminal Offences Act to categorize the offense of corruption, previously a misdemeanor, as a felony, and to provide stiffer punishments of terms of imprisonment of not less than 12 years and not more than 25 years in prison. Other laws passed by Parliament at the instigation of my administration, and which have improved materially the capacity of the state in the fight against corruption, are the Revenue Administration Amendment Act 2020, Act 1029, the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2018, Act 982, the State Interest and Governance Authority Act 2019, Act 990, the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2020, Act 1044, Corporate Restructuring and Insolvency Act 2020, Act 1015, the Companies Act 2019, Act 992, including its provisions on the Register of Beneficial Owners, the Narcotics Control Commission Act 2020, Act 1019, the Real Estate Agency Act 2020, Act 1047. Administratively, a series of other far-reaching measures have been undertaken by my government to help in the fight against corruption. A memorandum of understanding on information exchange and collaboration in combating corruption and crime in general has been signed by SHRAJ, IOCO, Parliament, the Office of the Attorney General, the Audit Service, the Police Service, the Financial Intelligence Center, the Narcotics Control Commission, the Internal Audit Agency, the National Investigations Bureau, and the Office of the Special Prosecutor to this end. The use of technology has been pivotal in our efforts to combat corruption. We have introduced digital platforms for public procurement processes, reducing human intervention and minimizing the opportunities for corrupt practices. These platforms have increased transparency, efficiency, and competitiveness in public procurement, ensuring that public resources are judicially used for the benefit of all Ghanaians. Before I conclude, Madam Chief Justice, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure we are all aware of the statement by the former president and perennial NDC presidential candidate, John Dramani Mahama, stigmatizing me as the clearing agent, because for him, Mere allegation without more is enough to merit condemnation of an accused public official, especially one of my administration. For my part, and let me state it again for the record, I will not set aside due process and the rules of natural justice on the altar against corruption, no matter how much opprobrium this position incurs for me. I hope you will indulge me if I recall a story my father told me, which is one that has always resonated with me, and which I believe is germane. In 1961, Teria Adamafio, then serving as Ghana's all-powerful Minister for Presidential Affairs in the First Republic, under the CPP government of President Kwame Nkrumah, the nation's first president, moved the motion in Parliament for the establishment of a special criminal court of the High Court. This court was intended to expedite the legal process for the trial of cases of national importance and political offenses, reflecting the government's desire to address swiftly issues that threaten national security. In Teria Adamafio's words in Parliament, the court was being established to do justice, not law. The special court was part of President Nkrumah's broader strategy to consolidate power and maintain tight control over the political landscape of the country, ensuring that any threats to his administration could be dealt with promptly and decisively. By a twist of fate, in 1963, Teria Adamafio became one of the first presidents to be tried before this very special court he had helped to establish. He was accused of involvement in the Kulungungu bomb attack, an assassination attempt that nearly claimed the life of President Kwame Nkrumah. Given the composition of the court, with all the judges appointed by President Nkrumah, Teria Adamafio feared his fate was sealed. However, in a surprising turn of events, the court examined the evidence meticulously and concluded that Teria Adamafio and two others were innocent of the charges of treason. Following his release from prison after the 1966 coup that overthrew the First Republic, Teria Adamafio visited my father, Edward Akufo-Addo, then Chief Justice, who was one of the judges that heard the case, together with Chief Justice Arko Kosa and Mr. Justice William Van Leer, to express his gratitude. He remarked to my father on the fairness of the trial that he was delighted that the court upheld the law and that his life had been saved by the court's adherence to the rule of law. My father, according to him, deliberately refrained from bringing up Teria Adamafio's comment about the need for the court to do justice, not law. The rule of law is the best protection of individual liberty in good times and bad times. In so saying, I want to use the opportunity of this platform to reassure the Ghanaian people that the law enforcement agencies of the state, including the Office of the Attorney General, will do all within their power to ensure that law and order prevail in the country at all times, especially during this critical election year. We will not allow the peace, security, and stability of the nation, which have made Ghana a beacon of democracy on the African continent, to be compromised on the altar of the ambitions of any political party or presidential candidate. It will not happen. The laws on our statute books, including those on vigilantism, will be strictly and vigorously enforced to preserve the peace and tranquility of the country. We owe that to the good people of Ghana, who've demonstrated so consistently and openly their deep attachment to peaceful democratic values. Ladies and gentlemen, Madam Chief Justice, the commissioning of the Law House is not just a celebration of a new building. It is a celebration of our collective commitment to the rule of law and justice. It is proof of our belief that a strong legal system is essential for the development and prosperity of our nation. As we look to the future, let us remember that the rule of law is not a static concept. It is a living principle that requires constant nurturing and vigilance. We must continue to adapt and evolve our legal systems to meet the changing needs of our society. But in so doing, we must remain steadfast in our commitment to justice, fairness, and equality for all. In conclusion, I would like to express my heartiest gratitude to all those who have contributed to the realization of this project, to successive Attorney Generals, and I see the former Attorney General and MP for Akufo-Addo Ketai here with us, architects, engineers, contractors, and workers who have brought this vision to life. I say thank you. To the current Attorney General and staff of the Ministry of Justice, your determination and hard work have made this day possible. And to the people of Ghana, your unflinching support and belief in the rule of law have been the driving force behind our efforts. That driving force will, in response to the Chief Justice and the Solicitor General, enabled by the grace of God and the decision of the Ghanaian people, President Mahamudu Bawumia, to continue with the work of improving the infrastructure of the Ministry of Justice, especially in the regions and districts of our country. As we open the doors of the Law House, let us do so with a renewed dedication to justice, integrity, and the rule of law. Let this building stand as a symbol of hope and a representation of our collective aspiration for a free, just, and prosperous society. Accordingly, Chief Justice, Attorney General, member of the Council of State, justices, members of the Judicial Council, members of the General Legal Council, President and executives of the Bar Council, members of the Bar, ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular pleasure and honor to declare the Law House duly commissioned. May God bless the Law House and all who work in it, and us all. And may God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it out for the President of our Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Your life, your work, and legacy speak far more than anything else I or any one of us can say. In short, if the stories of our lives are told, let it be said that we lived in the time of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, a champion of rule of law and an enabler of a just and equitable Ghana. To you, Mr. President, a grateful nation says thank you. It now falls to a Deputy Attorney General and Deputy Minister for Justice, the Honorable Diana Asunaba Dapa, to render thanks. A round of applause as she comes.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, standing on the protocols that have been well established by you, Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. I have the singular honor on behalf of the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, led by the Honorable Godfrey Yeboah-Adame, to invite all of you here to help us to firstly thank God, Jehovah Jireh, for his continuing faithfulness, for which we are all witnesses today. In his time, he indeed makes all things beautiful, and clearly, this beautiful law house is a testament to this fact. Mr. President, this office is immeasurably grateful to you for your consistent and determined effort in seeing to the completion of the law house, then as Attorney General and Minister for Justice, and now as our beloved President of the Republic of Ghana. We are equally grateful, and for the record, without equivocation, to His Excellency, former President John Agyekum Kufuor, for his inspirational vision in kickstarting the Law House project. Mr. President, we also thank in no mean way the previous and current finance ministers of your government for making adequate budgetary provisions for the Law House. The office remains grateful to the judiciary, particularly the Office of the Chief Justice and the Ghana Bar Association, for the many ways in which they have lent their support to this Law House project. And now, most importantly, to our cherished and incredible boss, Honorable Godfrey Yeboah-Adame, I believe I speak for all the staff of the Office of the Attorney General when I say thank you, sir, for your undying interest in the welfare of your staff. You bought into the over 20 years vision and carried all of us along, making frequent visits here yourself to ensure that the work was not only completed in time, but that this over 20-year-old structure was carefully modified to suit modern times according to plan. The office is also grateful to previous attorneys general whose efforts moved the project forward. Many thanks go to our consultants, the contractor, the planning committee, the various hands, seen and unseen, for making this day possible. To all of you, we thank you for joining us to mark this significant occasion and for making memories with us today. The office relishes your continuing support and assure you of our unflinching fidelity to our mandate. Please do have a wonderful day and week. I thank you.
We're grateful to you, the Honorable Diana Asunaba-Dapaah, Deputy Attorney General and Minister for Justice. Particularly grateful to be here is the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Please make her welcome with a round of applause. It means a lot for your bottom line and your target. But the greatest celebrant for today, ladies and gentlemen, apart from the President of the Republic, is Mother Dearest. Please, you can't do this sitting down. You please have to rise up for Mrs. Victoria Dame, Mother of the Attorney General. I insist. Please. Mommy Dearest, we say congratulations. May God bless you richly. And so shortly, this event will come to a close. A few announcements. It is requested that all of us, save the official party who will be taken for the tour, stay behind, including all staff of the ministry. We have an arrangement to show to you the commissioning and the tour of the edifice. We shall all be taking in bits for us to view. Mr. President, I've seen you on the best of days and in the worst of days. Today, your smile is ever so generous. Feeling so generous, Mr. President, I'd like to request 5 official photos here. And then at the front of the building, that unmistakable photo with you and all your colleague attorney generals. Is that a good deal? Please, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the President. And so we're pleased to have the senior pastor of the Holy Ghost Temple of the International Central Gospel Church, who is here to give us the closing prayer and will lead the official party for the dedication. We join your hearts, make welcome Prophet Christopher Yao Ano. I beg your pardon.
Shall we stand in honor to our Lord and Savior? Shall we bow our head? Our Heavenly Father, we come before you today to dedicate this Attorney General and Justice Office Complex building to your glory. We thank you for the vision and resources that have made this project possible. As you occupy this space, we ask that you guide and direct the work of the Attorney General and Justice and all who serve here. Grant them wisdom, integrity, and a commitment to justice so that they may uphold the law and protect the right of all citizens. May this building be a beacon of hope and justice, a place where truth and fairness are upheld and the vulnerable are protected. May the work done here bring honor to your name and blessings to our nation, Ghana. We pray for the leaders and staff who will work in this building, that they may be filled with your spirit and guided by your principles. May their work be marked by excellence, compassion, and commitment to serving the common good. We, therefore, dedicate this building to your glory in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name, we thank you, Father, that you've seen us through this. Let your hand continue to be with us. Then the rest, and those who be going back home, may you preserve and protect them in Jesus' name. Amen.